Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Missing in Action 2, The Beginning. I'm giving this 4 out of 5 stars. I really like this movie. It sort of grew on me. Started off really with typical canon patriotic stuff. The Gipper was at the Two Unknown Soldier, talking about MIA, POW stuff, saying the chapter was never closed even though the war was over. Ronald Reagan was a pretty decent president for his first 2 years, and then he went downhill really fast, especially with the Marine Lebanon debacle around 1986, I think, about a year after this movie. So Cannon's got the patriotic drum beat going here, with Chuck Norris doing some great one-liners, showing off his kung fu, and lots of explosions and stuff. I liked how one of his military compatriot comrades is sort of goes against him on the side of the communists, and then he kind of turns it around and at the last minute, and helps out his comrades, no pun intended. But with the name like The Beginning, of course, it starts out in 1972. Chuck Norris in the middle of this intense Vietnam battle. And yeah, this was the same year that Chuck Norris did Invasion USA, oddly enough. This was recommended to me by the way, by my newest subscriber, who goes by the handle of Salvatore Sprano, I think. And yeah, this is one of his better recommendations. I didn't like the Human Shield, but this one was much better. And I think I had it on Netflix. At some point, yeah, Salvatore Spano is his name. He's got the snake spillskin. The picture of Escape from New York dude with the eye patch, Kurt Russell. And yeah, I told him I'd check him out. I had on my Netflix queue. I think the disc was damaged badly, unwatchable, I think. And so I requested a replacement disc, and they just completely removed it off my Netflix queue. I don't know if that's the half of the story, because it's been so long, but I think that's what happened. Because I remember getting the disc and thinking, okay, I'm going to watch this, and then, never mind. My memory's not that bad, but it has been a couple of years since I got that double feature disc from Netflix. And like I said, it takes place in 1972. Chuck Norris is leading his men in this intense battle scene, and he ends up flying the helicopter because the guy who's flying it ends up getting shot, so he takes over the helicopter, and the helicopter gets shot down, so that he tries to fly it over the river, and they end up jumping in the river, become missing in action, captured by the Viet Cong, North Vietnamese, whatever you call them. And Professor Toru Tanaka is in this mumbling bunch of fake Vietnamese. the great wrestler from California wrestling. I remember seeing him on television, and back in the 80s on California wrestling. Anyways, he's in this one. He's in a lot of canon movies. And, he plays one of the Viet Cong thugs. Neither the Viet Cong general in this one nor Professor Toru Tanaka look like they're Vietnamese, but they fit the bill as the evil East Asian dude. So there's a lot of torture going on in this POW camp in Vietnam, next to this river. It's a giant waterfall and wooden bridge. Kind of interesting setting there. Malaria problem. Chuck Norris keeps talking about malaria, but really don't know what's going on with the malaria thing. It's kind of a sidebar that never really sticks. And yeah. So Chuck Norris is a tough guy. He's willing to sacrifice himself, get tortured, get his face eaten by a rat before he eats the rat. It's kind of disgusting. He's hung upside down with a bag over his head, and the rat starts tearing into his face because the rat's in the bag, and then he just takes a bite on it and he won't let go. Even when they remove the bag, he's still got the rat in his mouth. Kind of gross out scene right there. And so the North Vietnamese Viet Cong general who's running this POW camp is pretty brutal and relentless on these guys. Chuck Norris finally gets fed up and he steals all their weapons. Somehow, miraculously, he puts the Rambo bandana on, and he just goes out full on revenge Rambo style with hand grenades, machine guns, and you name it. And the end scene where he does a kung fu number on the Viet Cong North Vietnamese general is pretty decent, and then he says, "This is for me," and he presses a button, and the whole bamboo shack explodes in this tremendous explosion. Great ending, and hopefully I didn't spoil it too much, but you pretty much know Chuck Norris always wins in the end because he's going up against Bruce Lee. And the actual movie that came out around same time when this movie supposedly takes place. So it doesn't look like they're in the 1970s at all. they've all got 1980s hairstyles. Chuck Norris looks pretty debilitated. I don't know how he suddenly got all that energy towards the end, but but his face just looks more healthy and like he had an energy drink or something. All of a sudden, he turned into Superman. And pretty decent stuff from Canada. I didn't like all the patriotic nonsense. Ronald Reagan's speech, really. Ronald Reagan went downhill fast, starting around 1983, and into his second term. I'm not a big Ronald Reagan fan. He used to say that rock and roll music was satanic when he was governor of California. He ordered the National Guard to come out to stop all the hippie protests at San Francisco State, which is like a mile or two away from here. And my stepdad went to SF State. The National Guard beat him over the head with the billy club, a stick, like a police stick, just because he was walking to class or something. And yeah, interesting times. Ronald Reagan, governor of California, getting the Hayakawa to restore law and order, so to speak. So a lot of people resent Ronald Reagan as California governor, especially the crazy Bolsheviks who are in the San Francisco Bay Area. Both my mom and my coworker tried to say that Ronald Reagan released all the crazy people out on the street. I don't know if that's true or they're just using hyperbole like these people always do, but in any case, Ronald Reagan kind of brings back bad memories. I liked him when I was about 11 or 12, and then I sort of lost interest with his shenanigans in Lebanon. And that's about all I have to say about Ronald Reagan. I'm sure he's a big hero for the Canon producers. That's why they put those clips in the beginning. So it started off kind of annoying politician stuff, and then sort of grew on me. I mean, yeah, Braddock is pretty intense with this revenge thing going, and of course it's all exaggerated too, especially with the rat scene. That was really disturbing to me. I don't know if North Vietnamese or the Viet Cong ever used that the torture technique, but I thought it was quite ingenious. I'd never actually seen that before. So pretty cool stuff. Not a bad little Chuck Norris gung-ho kind of rescue my military buddies kind of flick. Just kept getting better and better as it sort of dragged along. It was a little slow, a little long, and it had the Ronald Reagan clip in the beginning. But other than that, it was all good. Other than that, I'd have to say. Um, I don't know how I rated Missing in Action, the first movie, but I can look it up. Just give me a second. Oh man, today was crazy. I went to work, they wrote down my name, and then they crossed out my name. And I was just sitting in my car watching this Missing in Action 2, the beginning. And I got through the whole movie, kind of in between using the John and getting some water from the water bottle. Okay, Missing in Action. Here we go. So this sequel or prequel, I guess you'd call it, is actually better than the first Missing in Action, in my opinion. Army Colonel James Braddock is the character, and I actually didn't like the first one as much as the second one. I give the first one 3 out of 5 stars. I'm giving this one 4 out of 5 stars, just because it's so dark. And Chuck Norris really looks demoralized in this one. Even signs a confession. They pretend like they're giving him this guy malaria drug or something, strychnine or something, to cure his illness. One of the army dudes, and they end up shooting him, overdosing him with opium instead. And so that really ticked off Chuck Norris. He says towards the end, "This is for so and so that you murdered, and here's another one for so and so that you murdered, and this is for me." Pretty cool. I like Chuck Norris one-liners sometimes when he does that. He's trying to be all tough like Charles Bronson. Pretty cool. But anyways, I better get going. I'm way tired. It's 10 o'clock. I gotta wake up at 4, get my 6 hours of sleep. So I just want to get that in real quick. Laters.